Srila Prabhupada was in Germany. How many have been to Germany? One, two, three. Okay. Prabhupada was in Germany and in the Association of Devotees, a Zen Buddhist. He was a very, very famous person. I think his name was Durkheim. Very, very famous. He was 80 years old and he came to meet Srila Prabhupada. Durkheim, something, some name like that. And he was like teaching all the people Zen Buddhism. 80, 80, not 18. Asa, Asi. So when he met Srila Prabhupada, he knew Prabhupada is preaching Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada was in a morning walk with Mr. Durkheim, with all the other devotees. So Prabhupada asked, so what happens at the time of death? What happens after that? So the Zen Buddhist, uh, he said to the effect that the intelligence leaves. You know, he said that the intelligence leaves. Huh? Because at the time, because they are fixing their intelligence and absorbing themselves in something, right? So he says, at the point of time when the intelligence is completely concentrated, all the physical things deteriorate, what stays is only the fixation of your intelligence, right? So he says the intelligence will move forward. So Prabhupada says, what else? So he was a little puzzled because all that he knew in Zen Buddhism is the fixation of his intelligence. And Prabhupada said that the mind will also go. And then Prabhupada asked, what else? He said, Prabhupada, because he halted at intelligence. He didn't know anything beyond. Right? Mataji is obscured. You come this side a little bit. No, I'm not fine. You can come ahead, Mataji, I think. Right? Yes. Now it's better. So he said intelligence. And then he says, what else goes? He says the ego goes. Right? And Prabhupada said, what else? So he said, intelligence goes, mind goes, and three things. Three things go. Then Prabhupada asked, what else goes after death? And then Prabhupada said, you go. Right? Who goes? The soul goes. So he was saying, just imagine a vehicle with three wheels. What is a vehicle with three wheels? Maybe a rickshaw. Right? So the three wheels are mind, intelligence, and ego. A vehicle with three wheels. How many have sat on a rickshaw? Okay. On three wheels. And you go. So who are we? We are the passenger. So now the next question is, who is driving the rickshaw? No, the soul is a passenger. So who is driving the rickshaw? Intelligence, mind, and ego are three wheels which are moving. The passenger is the soul. We Atma. So who is driving the rickshaw? The body is gone at the point of death. The body is gone. So where is the body? Who is driving? You see the rickshaw? Mind, intelligence, ego. Passenger is sitting on the seat. You know, you've all sat in rickshaw. You need one more person, right? The driver. One who will drive. So who is the person who is driving us to the next destination? Yes, Paramatma. Paramatma is going to drive us to the next destination. Right? So Prabhupada says that actually the soul is the passenger and Paramatma is the driver in our lives. So when we talk about bhakti, today we're going to speak about Arjuna's question whether bhakti is the highest path or meditating on the Supreme is the highest. This is going to be the whole discussion. To hear from Krishna, ultimately, what does he say? Right? So bhakti, and so we will just explain it. What does that mean? And then hear what Krishna says. So when you say bhakti, it means it's about making a companionship with Krishna. That means you don't travel alone. They say this: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you're going to call everyone, the whole family, we want to go. So everybody won't come at the same appointment. Someone is getting ready, someone is this, someone is that. So they say if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So the journey of each and every one of us is not alone. We have a choice whether to make a journey alone or whether to make a journey together. The path of bhakti is to make the journey together. And the path of meditation and Brahman is the path of going alone. Right? This is the basic difference when you talk about bhakti and the other meditative processes. Traveling the whole jatra alone. Right? And they say this: we are together with people, but actually alone traversing in this world. Right? So bhakti is a process of finding a companion and traveling with him. And who is that companion? That is Krishna. And Krishna is residing each and every one of our heart as Paramatma. Right? The only person who to escort us in this life and in the next is Paramatma. Right? So we are never alone. That is the first thing we establish in this particular aspect. We are always with Krishna. Now to work on this relationship and conduct our life is bhakti. To become cognizant of this, to work on this, and to live a life with companionship of Krishna is bhakti. Does that make something simple? What is bhakti? We got to acknowledge Krishna's presence in our self system and then work on that companionship. And then you have Krishna with you in every journey of your life. You will never be alone. How do you like this concept? Right? So Srila Prabhupada is telling us that if we have to go through our life, birth, disease, old age, so many problems, so many situations, and if we have to go through it all alone. Now when we are young, when we are hale and healthy, when we have resources at every hand, people at our beck and call, it may look very comfortable. But when things start being different, and then it would seem, how do we make that journey? Right? So to traverse this path alone is always going to be very difficult. It is going to be a lot of anxiety. But to travel together with Krishna, making him our companion, is going to be the most romantic affair in our lives. Right? Isn't it? That is the point. Just like once His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was giving a lecture. So one audience got up and said, Maharaj, I have a question for you. What is the question? He said, behind every successful man, there is a woman. So who is the woman behind you? Right? He asked a question. Because the sannyasi is alone. He's traveling the world alone. Right? He said, what is your inspiration? And Maharaj explained about Krishna and the association of Krishna and Srimati Radharani. Right? The devotee is able to go everywhere alone because he feels a relationship with Krishna and see everything in connection to Krishna. You can see the hand of Lord everywhere traversing with him. Right? So Prabhupada, when he's teaching us the process of bhakti, this is what he is trying to help us to develop our companionship with Krishna, who is already present, waiting for the relationship from within. He's always waiting for us that we will strike a relationship with Krishna. Right? So all the process of bhakti, if you really see, is a process of spending time in that relation. Because how do you make relationships? By spending time with Krishna, by spending time with people. Like, people when they get married, they spend time, understand each other, get into a relationship, get married, and settle out. Right? Isn't it? What do you call that? Okay, I don't remember the name. Uh, so people spend time to make a relationship. How do you make a relationship without consciously spending time? Do you make relationships? No. And what kind of spending time? With a group of people or one on one? And a very personal note, then you develop a relationship. You can just get into a gathering and get affiliated with the gathering, but to develop relationship, you're ready to go that distance. Maybe you go for a pilgrimage together, you go for a place together, you're ready to oblige each other, and you can go on in the relationship. Right? Even if it's not important for you, still you value the commitment of the other person and still go far. And what do you get in the return the whole day of effort? Maybe nothing financially or practically. But what you made is you went ahead in the relationship. Right? So similarly, the process of bhakti yoga is to consciously acknowledge Krishna's presence and spend time with him. And the result of that time spending is you feel some etching in your heart of a relationship. Make sense? It cannot be a mindless endeavor. Just like all of us are sitting here. If everyone was to express what is the inspiration that we are sitting here? What is uh, impelling us to come and spend some time together talking on this subject? What would we like to say? What would devotees like to say? We like to share what is our impetus, all of us sitting here together. Honestly, it could be whatever, like what do you think is our impetus? No, what do you think? No, what is your impetus? Right? Yes, Mataji, you want to say something? You look forward to coming here with devotees. Jai ho. Great eagerness. Yes, amazing. Yes, Amit Golpa, I'll not ask. Utkarsh Prabhu. Okay, Haribo. Mataji is new, but still I will ask. Okay. You feel calmness and you feel some. Okay. Haribo. Thank you. Shivain Prabhu. Jai Ho. Yes, Mataji, Bhavani Mataji. Jai Ho. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu. They'll say. Hari Hari. Jai Ho. Everyone has a very special reason. It's not the reason of this world for sure. Right? Yes. So when we're coming together, you all said it in different facets of the aspect, but we are all coming here to maybe connect to Krishna in different ways, right? We're connecting to the Supreme Lord and his, the experience of being with the Lord in different ways. It may come as peace, it may come as knowledge, it may come as relax, it may come as, you know, an association that's taking us further, right? But we, you know, but here, uh, in this particular place, we understand all this is coming from whom? From Krishna. We're actually, when we are coming together, we are getting to spend time with Krishna. The holy name is Krishna, the Sangha is Krishna. So being with Krishna creates relaxation, right? How many of us feel relaxed after we take a nap and take some rest? Raise your hand. Mataji, no? No, but after you take rest, you feel nice? Yeah, right? Yes, Mataji. So why do we feel relaxed and rejuvenated when we sleep? After we sleep, like, you're tired for 2 3 days, you just didn't have any, like, mentally fully absorbed, and suddenly one afternoon you'll find you're like, little bit, you change your inclination and you get reclination, and you're off for 2 3 hours. And when you get up after 2 3 hours, you don't realize whether it is day, whether it is night, and where am I. Experience that? That's like after extreme tiresome, but then you feel completely refreshed. So my question to you, why? Why do you feel refreshed? Yes. As long as Bhakti Charu Maharaj said, when you sleep, you get cut off from the outside world. And when you get cut off from the outside world, you come in association with Paramatma. It takes you cut off to be linked in. It's like, there are a couple of phases of sleep. There is a phase of sleep which is like deep sleep, where you don't dream also. Then there is a phenomenon where it's like in between of swapna. So sleep is also not one function. Sleep is actually of many aspects. One aspect of sleep is deep sleep. When you rest, you will see you don't have dreams. Like extreme tiredness and you sleep. Usually after you have dreams, sometimes you get up agitated also. You're not so relaxed. Too many dreams. But sometimes you experience deep sleep, and like even half an hour sometimes goes like so deep, and you get up, you feel like battery charged, right? So when you get disconnected from outside, then you actually come in touch with Paramatma. And being with Paramatma, you see how powerful and rejuvenating it is. I mean to say, I'm not kind of prophesizing we should sleep all the time and be with Paramatma. Yes. Otherwise, how do we get refreshed? Now, obviously, science will tell you that all the operations have, right? All the operations have been. See, there is always a mechanistic way of explaining things by the scientific realm because they can only observe observables. But as we know, it is the spirit which is driving the matter, right? So the Shastra explains it's actually the association of Paramatma that creates rejuvenation. When we are coming together, the association, the sound vibration, and the holy name is Krishna. And that is why being in it, we feel very secure. You don't feel threat. If you allow yourself, your consciousness to absorb into the subject or into, try your best, you will see all insecurities will not be there. Yeah, why the fear is not there when you're in the association devotees? Because of the presence of Abhay Charan, Krishna. He is the cause of fearlessness, right? So we may not always be able to consciously acknowledge, but actually we are always looking for that association with Krishna, which creates the rejuvenating effect. And bhakti means consciously getting into that rejuvenating experiences. Make sense? Not accidentally getting into it, but consciously getting into it. So, whenever we become rejuvenated, we become peaceful, we become happy, you will see it will have some aspect of Krishna involved. Just like in family and relationships. If the family and relationships are very sweet and very service oriented, how do we feel? We feel relaxed, right? Because that aspect of selflessness, the aspect of that unmotivated service is actually the element of bhakti. The element of bhakti is selfless service without any expectations. So, whenever you have that mood of bhakti in relationships, also, it develops so much of intimacy and peace. But the moment you find in families, they start having calculations. Tumhara, mera. Then what comes in the relationships? Fear. Because it is no more having the quality of pure dealings. So you understand it is not family alone which is giving us the fulfillment. It is the element of Krishna factor that is giving the fulfillment. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? And the moment you remove that Krishna factor in your relationships and become more materially inclined in dealing with them. Okay, if I deal well, maybe I will get better share. I will get better rewards. Make sense? Then how do dealings become? Very bitter. It seems like outside world has come inside house. Right? And again you fine tune it, it gets better. So the point why I'm telling you so many examples is to illustrate this point that the companionship of Krishna, which is coming in the association, which is coming in our, learning the Shastra, which is coming when you go to deep sleep, it's coming when you are with lovable buddies and friends and family. It is the element of Krishna that is giving us rejuvenation. And bhakti means you consciously bring in Krishna's presence and relate with him. Make sense? It may look a little artificial in the beginning. Why? Because to make a new relationship, it always seems so. You don't know the other person. You don't know how the person will respond. You don't know whether really we are made for each other in relationship. So many things go on when you make a new person as a relationship, right? And I have seen it is very difficult to make relationships when people have grown up. मानिए आप अभी 40s में 50s में चले गए, उसके बाद एक घनिष्ठ संबंध बनना बहुत बहुत टफ है, because there are now so many layers in your heart and so many layers in the other person's heart. It has to cross so much barriers. But say when we were very young, like in our teens, really you don't have a property, your friend doesn't have a property. It's not about money that's motivating, just that you like each other as friends, right? So relationships which you form in the early times, where there are not so many give and takes, they're very intimate. And usually I have seen these are the relationships which stand the test of time. Because these relationships have not come with some agenda, these relationships have come with just that intimate relationships or friendships. Make sense what I'm saying? Right? It's because it has that purity of no material agenda or no aspect. So it has got that purity of the spiritual element. Right? So bhakti is about making a conscious acknowledgement and developing a relationship. Right? So we know, like I heard something very interesting. This is all said in the next verses, what I'm speaking now. Right? He said, whenever we eat, like we always say this at home, whatever we eat, we should eat prasadam. So how do you make something prasadam? Offering to the Lord. Now look at the phenomenon of offering to the Lord. So what do we learn? That whatever we eat, we have to offer it to the Lord and then only eat. Right? Isn't it? So what is the understanding of this aspect? जो भी खाएंगे भगवान को भोग लगा के खाएंगे. इसका मतलब क्या? क्यों हम भगवान को भोग लगा के खाएंगे? क्यों भोग लगा के खाएंगे? क्या कारण है? Okay. So we understand he is the boss. So we offer to him. Yes, that is the understanding. But sometimes, you know, becoming very routine, the understanding could be, huh? Yeah. So we should think of him as a person. But sometimes when you eat routine prasadam every day, then you said, "Arey, खाने से पहले लगा के आओ उधर पे." You know, he becomes like a food purifier. Just like in the kitchen we have a water purifier, right? पानी पीने से पहले फिल्टर कर दो. वैसे ही खाने से पहले ठाकुर जी को लगा दो तो वो फूड प्यूरिफाई हो जाएगा. जो भी पाप है चला जाएगा. Right? That could be also in routine sometime the consciousness. But then that would not be so personal. Right? As all of you mentioned, we understand Krishna is a person. Just like, imagine the elders of the family come home. Right? Isn't it? Like your grandfather comes home. Like he would come. So what do? First we offer him. Right? And make him comfortable. And after he has eaten, then others eat. That's usual or it happens sometimes? Usual, right? So he says, that's how you deal with Krishna. Whenever you're offering bhoga, you understand that he is the big man of my house. He's my dadu or he's my godfather. So पहले उनको खिलाओ. वो खा के संतुष्ट हो जाए, उसके बाद हम सब खाएंगे. Then the aspect of cooking will become, let's cook something that will make Krishna feel happy. And even if you're not cooking, imagine no one home, only one of you are home. Only Shiven is at home. And Shiven, cooking? Sometimes, okay. But imagine you're home alone and there are cooks who are there to cook. Giving them directions and making something very nice for the Lord is also cooking. Make sense? When the elder comes, you're going to say, oh, the elder likes this item, cook it like this, and make a nice plate, and I'm going to serve him. Right? So you make a nice plate and you take it to Thakurji. You put it in front of the Thakurji and says, "My dear Lord, have a nice prasad, have a nice bhoga." You give him. So now this gesture in the beginning may seem little, you know, what am I doing? Is the Lord really there? Sometimes a question may come, is it just that an act of, somebody may say, "Arey, ye to patthar hai, patthar ke samne kya rakh rahe ho?" Somebody may say, Prabhupada says, people say, "What are you people? You worship deities and idols as gods, what is this?" So Prabhupada gives an example. It's like a mailbox. Now we don't have mailboxes today, but at least a couple of years back we used to have. So there are mailboxes, right? Red color. Now if you put a letter in the mailbox, will it go? Provided you put the address and the stamp, everything. It'll go. But now if you paint another box red in color and put a letter in it, will it go? No. Right? So why that particular red box you put a letter, it will go, but in this one it will not go? Authorized. Similarly, the deity is an authorized form of the Lord. Lord says, the mailbox. So if you put a letter in the mailbox, the message will go to your recipient. But if you make another box, paint it red, and put the mail in it, will it go? No. Why? As Prabhuji said, because that's authorized. Similarly, this is an authorized form of the Lord. This is called Archa Vigraha. And for us, actually, the easiest way to connect with Krishna is the deity. Because with him, you can actually see, oh, he's standing there. See, Lord Ram is standing, Mother Sita is standing, Lakshman is standing, Hanumanji is standing. Sorry, Hanumanji is sitting. They are there, right? And they take prasadam 3 times. In temples, 6 times. Right? They like prasadam. You can offer them nicely. They like kirtans. You can sing for them. Right? They like you to spend time for them in whatever you're doing. You keep this place very clean for them, they like it. Right? So Prabhupada says, for especially grahastas in the house and for brahmacharis and sadhus in the temple, the deities are a means of developing a very personal connection. Right? Personal connection. Like you come every day in the morning and greet them. Right? You come and greet them, my dear Lord, I try to, huh? Good morning. Okay. You say Hare Krishna. Good morning is Hare Krishna. Whatever, even if you say lovingly good morning, the Lord is very happy. Actually, it's a fact. Like it may seem like, so when you're doing it with the Lord, it is not dealing with someone who is not here. It's actually you're dealing with a person. Prabhupada said this is a personal movement. Bhakti is a personal process. So you're dealing with a person here. Like when I every day come, right, and we are sitting here and having a talk, it's kind of clear that we're going to make them happy by this gathering. They like us to come together and talk about it. Right? Whether or not we have a big audience, but their audience is there. And if I feel very sad seeing few people have come, they will feel, we're also sitting around. Why do you bother? Why do you bother? We're here to hear. We like you to say something and induce each other to become our lovers. They like it. So what I was saying, like Shivain tells the cooks that make these 6-7 items. Maybe some items, may not be once he will take it also, but then that the Lord would be happy eating them. So he makes an arrangement, tell the cooks and make a beautiful plate, and he personally goes and offers, my dear Lord Ram, Mother Sita, Lakshman, Hanuman, Here is a beautiful offering. Please take it. I'm trying to offer with little love, right? And then you're conscious that you made an offering to them. And then you let them have it for some time and then bring it out and then, have the prasada. So now this may be a very small gesture, right? A very small gesture, but it's a conscious gesture that you connect them as a person. This is bhakti. And that gesture of 10 to 15 minutes and maybe a little more time for preparation is going to induce your companionship. Your companionship. And you keep doing it day in, day out. At some time, you will start having a buddy feeling with the Lord. Right? You will really start connecting. Now, it may not be so gross like you see the Lord speaking to you, maybe. Or maybe the Lord, doing something like that. That may be a very advanced platform of the Lord showing up like in that way. But at least you can feel an intervention. You can see, Hare Krishna, you can see that, something happens, you realize they're not happy with me. Like I see this one aspect whenever I sleep in the night and the next day Mangalarti is there, the morning program, 4:30, greet the deities, So I see, even if I go late at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, I have seen that I wake up. No, alarm is like, but if you're sleeping deep enough, I've seen I wake up like 4:10 or 4 o'clock or something, even if I sleep. It wakes up. And even if you wake up, you have to physically wake up to reach Mangalarti. You cannot just from slumber go up. And sometimes I have seen, even if I go a little, say I slept at 11, I don't make it to the Mangalarti. My sleep breaks after 4:30 or 4:45. And then I go and I see that, oh, the Mangalarti is over, And then I make a reflection that, why didn't the Lord wake me today? I slept at 12 and 1 and He woke me up. And today I slept much before time, but He didn't wake me up. That means He's not happy with something. नहीं तो जगा देते, परमात्मा के रूप में विराजमान है. He knows I am giving darshan, should wake you up. And if I make a reflection, somehow I've seen something clues out that I misdealt with somebody that other day. Someone I dealt not so good. And then I've seen I go and apologize or be a little kind. You see, next day I'm again back in time. Now this may be like, you may say, Prabhu, ye to aapke man ka imagination hai. But I can see that connection because I go every day. The day it doesn't have, because I realize if I have to be woken up, it's not the alarm clock that wakes me up. It is the Paramatma who wakes me up. And how can I get up when I sleep at 12:30 and why don't I get up at some other time? Because I'm desiring that I should go for Mangalarti. Yes, it's a desire. And imagine still didn't happen. The Lord seems to be not happy about something. Maybe
I don't have to go somewhere the next morning. I have to wake up.
Paramatma wakes you up.
I never wake up with the morning.
Yes. That means our desire is so strong that Krishna acknowledges. So now if you desire something for Him, will it not happen? And if it is not happening, maybe something they're not happy with you. So what I'm trying to say is, when you make a conscious effort to develop a relationship with Krishna, you start realizing it's not a concept. It's actually being with a person, as a companion. And Bhakti, Srila Prabhupada is actually training us to get into a relationship with Krishna. To serving the deities regularly as a family person is a very conscious way of developing bhakti and relationship. We should have kind of little program. Every day in the morning, we should definitely greet them. Whenever you're going out from your house, you should tell them that I'm going. Yeah, you tell them, like, at least I make a habit. Whenever I leave out of the temple, I will go to the deities, pay obeisances. I'm going for a assignment, my service. I'll be back today, or maybe I'll be back after 2 days. I always try my best to go and tell them and tell Prabhupada.
Even the materialistic world, everyone asks, how will it help? Or why should I do this?
Yeah, but for them, they have nothing to do with devotion. They're talking for those who are devotees. For them, we'll have to first bring them to the conception that the Lord exists. They don't even have an existential acceptance. So, after you make the person exist, then you go ahead to make a relationship. So, we have already gone past that aspect that we understand Krishna as a person. But now we are trying to work on the relationship. So, with the deities, you could make a gesture that, whenever you come home, greet them. Whenever you leave home, greet them. No, it's about every individual. This is nothing that can be, like institution. नहीं, देखिए वो आपका पर्सनल संबंध है. ठीक है, एटलीस्ट आप सुबह बोल के जाइए. मैं जस्ट बोल रहा हूँ. ओके. your turn is much more. बट एक और चीज है, माता जी ने इंटरेस्टिंग चीज बोला. माता जी ने एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज बोला. क्या पता है कि अगर आप भगवान को रोज बोल के जाओगे, जिस दिन नहीं बोल के जाओगे, आपको इंडिकेशन मिल जाएगा. अगर रोज बोल के जाने की आदत है, राइट, रोज बोल के जाने की आदत है. अगर, क्योंकि देखो रिलेशनशिप कैसा होता है. अगर मानिए एवरी डे यश प्रभु कॉल्स मी and greets me, for example, he calls me every day, and say the day he will not call me, will I feel knocking hoga. I may not call back, I may think maybe he's busy, but I will, whole day a thought will come, अरे आज call क्यों नहीं किया. And the next day if he does not call, for sure I will call him कि अरे प्रभु क्या हुआ. I'll not say I'll miss you, I missed your call. I will just kind of explore the conversation, but the point I want to say is, what happened, you didn't call. So in a relationship, if there's a consistency in an exchange, the other person starts expecting in the relationship. Similarly, it's with Krishna. If every day you greet him and you don't greet him one day, he will expect. But if you don't have a habit of greeting him, then I'm just telling, if you don't have a habit of greeting him, then just like, somebody may call me one day, may not call me one day. So my expectation is not there कि कोई मेरे को call करेगा. नहीं नहीं नहीं, आप मैं जस्ट आपको हिंट्स दे रहा हूँ कि भगवान के साथ हमको कैसे रिलेशनशिप डेवलप करना है. कि एक पर्सन है और उनके साथ मैं अपना टाइम स्पेंड कर रहा हूँ और उनके साथ संबंध बना रहा हूँ. Now, worshipping the deities every day in the morning is a very strong form of spending time. But each of us, even if we are not able to put in that amount of time, at least the gesture of greeting him when you come, taking the permission when you go, it works like that. So now I'm telling you one aspect of serving the deities in this way. With deities, every day you can see in your heart the connection with Krishna will tangibly increase, because you're actually stressing your heart in the relationship. Like, every day you make an offering to the Lord. Maybe if you're not offering all the three, one offering you be involved to make a personal offering. Maybe a few sweets or, a little bit. There's a consciousness. Like, a special relative has come, he likes this, why don't you cook this for him or her? So you do that for Krishna. Then if you're able to do arati every day, at least if you cannot do an elaborate arati, you can take an agarbatti and give them fragrance, or maybe offer some. The simplest thing you can do is offer some flowers. You bring some flowers, show them and offer at the lotus feet. It could be as simple as that. So offering boga, offering some arati. What they love the most is if you can go and sing for them. That is like, we'll say, epitome. Because Sankirtan, they love. So if you go to them and chant Hare Krishna Kirtan, and sing some bhajan or some Vaishnav Geet, that is like the, kya bolte hain, big infiltration. Because you're lovingly calling them, lovingly chanting for them, isn't it? Like somebody gave you a nice offering of prasadam, and somebody came and spent time lovingly while doing it. The investment is more when there's a loving talk and exchanges, right? So this is how, in the process of bhakti, through deity worship, we can develop a lot of relationship with Krishna consciously. Krishna will not more become a concept. The second or the primer most is chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So if you see the words Hare, Krishna and Rama, he said these are words in Sanskrit. How many of you studied Sanskrit? Maybe a little bit. So there is something called vocative, you know, invoking, right? So when the word Hare is actually Hara. Radharani is actually Hara. Hara Shakti, Hara is a mother, Hiladini. But when you call her, it becomes Hare. So when you're chanting Hare Krishna, you're saying Hare, it is like you're calling Radharani. It's not just saying Radharani. It is like calling Radharani. Right? Mentioning someone's name and calling the person. Just like Bhavani Mataji is not here, but imagine she's at that place. You could be talking about her and you can actually be calling her. And there's a difference between saying a name and calling. Yes or no? So the holy name, it is in a vocative, invoking way. So when you say Hare, it's actually saying, you're actually calling Srimati Radharani. Yes, so Hare is actually calling Radharani. You're calling Radharani for help. And Krishna also means you're calling Krishna. Or Rama, Radhika Ramana, you're calling. So chanting the holy name is a call. It is not just chanting the name, it's not just referring to the names of the personality, it's a calling function. Right? And when you do a calling function, what happens to the person? If you call someone, like imagine someone is there in that room and you call, what happens? The person comes. That means when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna comes. Radharani comes as the sound vibration. That means what? When you're chanting the holy name, you are actually calling Radha and Krishna and they are in your vicinity. Right? So you call and you hear. That is like being in association of them. If you're calling and your mind is somewhere else, then you're not kind of fully interacting with them. But if you call and you let your mind be in the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. You can try this tomorrow, or maybe when you're chanting today. Be conscious that when you're calling, they're there. And then you just chant and hear. You will see you go into a very deep chanting. Usually we get hijacked because our mind comes in and you let the mind's thought take you away. But then an important person is there in front of me. How can I let my mind go away? Make sense? An important person, you've got to be present with them, right? You cannot lift a phone call or you can do something. So if you chant Hare Krishna with this understanding that Radha and Krishna are in front of you, and it is not just thinking, it is true. They have appeared as the Nam. We have heard about it. Like the holy name itself is Krishna. The sound vibration. Krishna has come as an avatar of sound, of kirtan. So if you're just conscious to hear, you chant properly, calling them, and you hear, and you chant like that. You will see your chanting will become so juicy.
Yeah, and in fact, 2 weeks ago when you said, when some thoughts come, you say Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai.
It works.
Yeah, it works.
Yes, it works. I'll tell that afterwards. Right? So you call personalities, they manifest. Spiritual personalities manifest. Like in material life, the person who is not here, and I call their name. Calling their name doesn't mean the person is here. Right? Isn't it? I call someone's name who is not sitting here. Will will we have that person come here? But in spiritual realm, calling the name of the person is equivalent to having the person here. That's that is the spiritual realm. In spiritual realm, there are no limitations of because you're calling them. There are no limitations of space and time. See, like Einstein says, right? This is a world where we're limited by time and space. Like what is separating us from a person who's not sitting in this
Why
room?
not Haridas Thakur, Haridas Thakur?
Yes. See, that's the point. So material life means we are separated by time and space. Like for example, Krishna Prabhu is not here. What is separating us and Krishna Prabhu? Space. He may be in Salt Lake, maybe. So there's a space that is separating us, and there's a factor of time that is separating us, right? Isn't it? Like for example, Krishna Prabhu is in Yash Prabhu's house, but he's there at 5 o'clock, and Yash Prabhu is searching at 6:30. So now space barrier is not there. So he should find him, right? Makes sense what I'm saying? He's searching at 6:30 and 5 p.m. Krishna Prabhu was here in this home. So can Yash Prabhu find him at 6:30? Why? Because there's a barrier of time. So in this world we have barrier of time and barrier of space. But in spiritual world there is no barrier of time and there's no barrier of space. So you can come in the association of spiritual personalities just by invoking them and calling them lovingly. Because there is no time and space boundary. Right? The whole concept of relativity is of this time and space. And we study in the Shastra that the spiritual world and the material world difference is the space and time. In this world, everything is within space and governed by time. And in spiritual world, there is no time and there is no space. That is why we don't die. Time makes our journeys. But if the factor of time is not there, then we are eternal. Right? So basically coming to a spiritual realm is you break through time factor. Right? This material world is under a timer. And what is the time? 311 trillion 40 billion years of Brahma. Tick, 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 tick. And as the time moves, there's transformation. Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. Like that. Kal. But for spiritual personalities, there is no time and space limitation. That's how the holy name is not material. These personalities, spiritual personalities, are not going to be bounded by space and time. So we can get access to them as we chant the holy name, as we speak about their katha. Like, if you speak about Lord Ram, right? You can make your. If you speak about Lord Ram, he's going to be here. Whenever Ram Katha happens, Ram Navami is coming. Whenever Ram Katha happens, who all are present in a Ram Katha? Hanuman. Who else? Lord Ram, Mother Sita, Lakshman. Everybody is present whenever there is Ram Katha going on. Right? Here anyway they are present. But wherever you do Ram Katha, they are present. Because now you may ask, how can they be present, Prabhuji? Because the Lord is hungry for love. If there's a professional recitation, professional recitation, बोलने वाले को भगवान से परवाह नहीं, बैठने वाले को भगवान से परवाह नहीं. बोलना वाला जमा के बोल रहा है, बैठने वाला सोसाइटी को देख के बैठा है. ऐसी जगह पे राम लक्ष्मण नहीं आएंगे. That's why Prabhupada said, by a professional recitation of Bhagavad, people may cry tears, people may, get into so many emotions, but no devotion will come. It will be like someone crying in wilderness, where there is no agenda for glorifying Lord. It is only an agenda of social. No, it will not be. Because it could be some just like a presentation where Lord Ram is not the focus.
How can you do Bhagavad without glorifying the Lord?
That's what Prabhupada said, na. Matlab the intent, the main thing is the intent. See, the content is happening. Like for example, Prabhupada says there are 700 commentaries of Bhagavad Gita. But by reading that Gita, you don't become a devotee. Why? Because in that commentary, they're expressing their opinion. They're not expressing Krishna's opinion and devotion. So by reading those Gitas, you don't find people transform. Now, they are the verses of Gita. That means what? The speaker and the hearer and their intent for devotion is what creates the experience and the manifestation. Right? So when we are intentfully wanting to glorify Lord Ram in the association of co-devotees, Lord Ram is very interested. So chanting of the holy name is calling out Krishna, the Lord is in presence. And similarly, when we are speaking about the glories of the Lord and the devotees, they are present. And you get to reciprocate with them in association, make relationships. So that is why chanting is the most. Now somebody may not have anything to make arrangements for the deities. They don't have deities. So how do they make connection? Chant the holy name and attentively hear. You make connection in the relationship. Make sense what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to really change our situation. We are into family, I'm in temple, you're into business, I'm into teaching. You don't have to change, or somebody else is in different work. You don't have to change your climate. Or you don't have to wait, I will become old, then I will completely be with Krishna. The old will come. You don't know. So Prabhupada says, even now, Bhakti is so direct process that you could be busy with all affairs, but you can get into an affair with Krishna. It's all about you putting your consciousness and acknowledging Krishna's presence and making a relationship. It's not about you're doing this so I cannot remember Krishna. Because Arjuna is remembering Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. How difficult it is to remember Krishna on a war field when you're killing people. But if bhakti can be practiced on the war field killing people, you can practice bhakti anywhere else. That is what is the purpose of Gita. Gita is telling you the premise. You could be in any situation and you can become a lover of Krishna. You don't have to think you have to change the hairstyle or a different style. You have to change your heart style. And the heart style changes, all the other styles get aligned. Right? So chanting of the holy name, every day we have a half an hour slot, we chant the holy name. We chant it very endearing. That half an hour time is beyond space and time. You're with Krishna and Radharani. And you're with them. You have no other thought. And even if you do get a thought, remind yourself they're here. Easy, right? You remind yourself they're here. Maybe You can have some personal photographs of the deities which you kind of closely identify and have them. And so when you're chanting, they're here. And you will see that just this cognizance that they're here and you chant very attentively in here, you get into a relationship and get very absorbed. Then the chanting of the holy name is very devotionally enriching. Right? That means Prabhupada said Krishna consciousness is about putting consciousness. You have to put that consciousness. And how do you get that consciousness? Now that may be $1 million question. Because we know, huh? Yes, by surrendering to Krishna. You get that consciousness by associating with Prabhupada. If you hear from Prabhupada, hear from spiritual masters, you hear, whenever like you're sitting in a gathering, we're hearing. The hearing in the association and associating with sadhu, gurus, shastra gives us that consciousness because they have that consciousness, they can give us that consciousness. Bhakti sanjayate bhakti. Bhakti gives birth to bhakti. Right? Whatever you have, that's what you can give to others. So we associate with each other. Hear about Krishna, then that bhakti. And everybody has bhakti, by the way. Everybody has bhakti. If you reflect on that part of bhakti in them, you will get inspired. You can see the material part and become discouraged. Like you see someone's example and say, oh, this Prabhuji and Mataji, every day they make a beautiful offering to the Lord and sit with the Lord and chant nicely. Now there may be so many things you can reflect in the other person through the day. Maybe apart from that, whatever you think of the person may be black or maybe gray. But now you have a choice whether you associate with the other person in their good quality or associate with the person in their bad quality. Do we have a choice? You meet a friend, you can remember the good things they've done to you, or you can remember the bad things they did yesterday with you. If you remember the bad things they did with you, relationship will increase? No. If you remember the good things, there are chances that it will become better. So Prabhupada said it's all about our consciousness. And Krishna consciousness is training ourselves. The more we train ourselves to find Krishna in what we are doing, similarly you will see even in people will find that Krishna element. And then you will see the world becomes a very beautiful place. Even if you meet a person, you remember them with the good quality. Then you don't feel morose being with anyone. Right? It's the consciousness, the way it reacts, you become happy or sad. It is not the situation in itself that makes you happy and sad. Have you experienced that? Right? That means practicing bhakti actually makes you capable of dealing with the world in the best way. Right? Isn't it? So this is the point, the whole theme of this chapter, the 7 verses is, should I conduct my life all alone without the help of Krishna to achieve perfection? Make sense? I want to become perfect in my life, but I don't really take help of in personal relationship with Krishna. How easy it would be to do bhakti? Very difficult. But if I conduct myself in a relationship with Krishna in every aspect, how easy it would be for me to become a devotee? It will be very easy. So the path of bhakti is the path of, in this way, very systematically developing our relationship with Krishna. In small, small things. In small, small things. Isn't it? And the path of, what do you call here? Yoga, a path of impersonal Brahman, is you rely on your own capacities for perfection. Right? You don't rely on Krishna's personality. Right? So we'll not go deep into that subject today because we've already spoken at length on one of them. Next time we speak, we'll explore the comparative. But I wanted to say this because when we compare bhakti and the impersonal path, you can make a correlation, right? So, having said this, maybe we'll hear from you of your exchanges with the Lord and your cultivation of your relationship. We have good time. You're not off board. Aa jao, Yash Prabhu. Take your hot seat, right? So, in the next little time we have, maybe each of us can share on this aspect of cultivating our relationship with Krishna in our practical scenarios. Because whatever you can practically connect, that's how much you can move forward in your relationship with Krishna.
So how we would like to practically connect with the Krishna?
And how do you do it? You may be already doing it, and you would like to do it more. As I said, bhakti is kind of, Krishna is already there here. Our dear lordships are here. In holy name, Krishna is there. He is beyond space and time, so you can always get wherever you are. Right? One of the places Krishna is very much there is in the association. Because every devotee exudes devotion. Makes sense what I'm saying? Every devotee is a carrier of bhakti. Just the aspect of everyone coming here for the class is so much of inspiration. It's so much of encouragement that yes, I'm at the right place. Imagine I am the only person who is getting slaughtered by my talk. You may be like, am I at the right place? I thought. So every single person being here is actually adding to bhakti of every other individual. So association is also a very big source of Krishna's presence. Right? Just you look at a devotee, you remember Krishna. Right? Like that. That's why we tell everyone to wear tilaks. Because you see someone wearing a tilak. What happened? Who do you remember? Krishna. Right? So our devotional attire, our ornamentation is to remind each other of Krishna. Because we may not be able to see our tilak. But anyone who sees our tilak, what will they remember? Krishna. That's some aspect of. Alright, so we will leave the room for all of you to make a contribution and we will conclude for the day. Right?